Okay, I will do. Um, well, first of all, hello everyone. Um, so Ms. Ruggles just told you to put away your phones, but I'm actually gonna do quite the opposite. I'm gonna tell you to take them out. Not for Snapchat, not for Tinder, just for this class. So I'll actually put the link in chat to where you have to go. And I'm about to screen share. Hold on. Alright, I see Tyler's in. I see Jack, okay. Oh, that's Dutch. So here's also a brief Dutch lesson for you all. But don't worry, the entire lesson is still gonna be in English. Don't worry, I'm not leaving any of you out. Miss Ruggles, how many students are there? So how many should we count for? 10. Okay, that looks like we have everyone then. So how about we get started? So today is actually about an introduction paragraph. So we'll be focusing on that and how to write one. So I'm curious, you should be able to see something on your screen right now that you can type in yourself. Whatever comes to mind about introduction paragraphs, write it down and hit send. I'm seeing quite a few paragraphs already, that's nice. I'll give you another minute. Alright, I think we've all had some time to fill in. So let's go check some of these answers. I'm curious what you have written down. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so I believe that I think if you go back one slide, it will only show the slide for introduction. Yeah. So unfortunately, everyone, we have lost everything you've written down. But maybe some of you can just quickly mention a few things I have written down. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Then let's talk about what an introduction includes. So an introduction, it prepares the reader for the essay to follow. So it informs the person who's going to read it briefly what will be included in this piece of writing. An introduction also adds relevance to the subject. So why would this be worth reading? Why is it important? And is it maybe relevant in nowadays, or is it no longer relevant? But of course it should be relevant, so you might want to include that. It explains how the topic has been misunderstood. So make sure there's no confusion, make sure everything is clear, and explain if you have to. Could you go to the next slide, please? It also states the position of the author if it's, for example, a debatable topic. So in case of a controversial topic, this essay will argue why, and then they explain their position. So this should be this way because, explanation, and this is the best because. So you have to explain your position, but don't literally say that your position is ... That's very important. So in the introduction, you also give essential or contextual information. So sometimes a bit of backstory is needed. So make sure that the reader knows about this. If there has been an event in the world that you're going to cover in your essay, make sure that this event is covered. It also shows why it is worth reading, and I'm sure we've all been there. If the first page isn't interesting enough, we don't continue reading. So make sure that the person who's going to read it is going to be interested. And this can be done in various ways. For example, anticipating the final answer of the question. Ms. Roggers, could you go to the next slide, please? So, a few things you should do with your introduction. We're going over the don'ts soon, but first let's see the do's. So create interest in your topic. Like I said, it should be worth reading. So the first page already is going to give an indication if it's going to be interesting to read or not. So you might want to make interesting your topic by, for example, giving a few fun stories with it, or giving contextual information. Give sufficient information to understand your essay. Make sure it is clear, like I mentioned before, that there's no misunderstanding, and that there's enough backstory to it. If there's a lot of backstory to it, you probably have to explain it shortly, but make sure you don't have insufficient information and don't have too much information. So, of course, and with a thesis statement, I believe Ms. Roggers has already talked to you about this. However, because I've heard there were still some people who were not exactly sure what a thesis statement is or how to actually create one, we have included this in this PowerPoint as well, so we can quickly go over that if you still need to. Use linking words and phrases to move smoothly from general to specific. So throughout this introduction paragraph, you're going to start very general, but you're going to have to narrow it down to a certain topic. And make sure it's like gradually, very smoothly, and use linking words such as this, that, and so on. I'm sure you know quite a few linking words already. Next page, please. Now the don'ts. So be careful with these. For example, don't be too specific in the beginning, because like I said, we want to narrow it down. So don't start by saying exactly what you're going to be talking about, because you can still create some anticipation of what it's going to be about, and the reader might still have questions about the topic you're going to be talking about. Don't provide unnecessary information. So don't talk about, for example, Coca-Cola while you're going to be talking about a controversial topic like pineapple on pizza. Even though pizza and cola go together during dinner, they don't go together well in an essay. Announce what you will say. Don't do this. So, like I said, create some anticipation. Keep the reader a bit curious. And don't announce everything in exact detail. So, let's say don't spoil the ending. Don't say in the next paragraph, I will discuss, my position is. These are very common mistakes. I've probably made them many times myself, but try to avoid this while still kind of guiding what is going to be in the essay itself. Next slide, please. So the structure, it should first introduce the topic, then let's say foods, which you want to narrow down to maybe pizza, and then the controversial topic of pineapple on pizza. So state the overall position of yourself, or rather the essay. So for example, pineapple should not be on pizza. I'm curious, hands up if you like pineapple on pizza. I see one hand. It's all good. It's all good. Next slide, please. So you want to see your introduction as a funnel. So as you can see, it's very wide at the top, very general. Like let's say, let's go to the back to the topic of pineapple on pizza. Let's say the entire topic is food. You want to be talking about food. You want to maybe narrow it down to a bit like, yeah, pizza, okay. And then you're going into the controversial, the very specifics of pineapple on pizza. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is the thesis statement part. So if you're confident in it, this is just going to be a quick recap for you. For those of you who still don't exactly know what it is, I'm going to try to help you as much as I can. So a thesis statement is a statement, not a question, and be sure to put a lot of confidence in it. So you really believe this. Pineapple should be on pizza because it is the perfect combination for sweet and savory. There, thesis statement. It's not a question. It can be debated because some people might say, definitely do not put this on a pizza. It's disgusting. And it is worded in a concise way. So concise, it gives a lot of information, but very clearly and in few words. Has three specific, distinct reasons to support the position. So my example was that it captures the perfect tastes. Maybe add in 2 more good examples, but try to make 3 in your thesis statement. So the thesis statement is basically the blueprint of your essay. It covers almost everything you're going to be talking about. And this is at the end of your introduction paragraph. Next slide, please. So we're going to be looking at an example. I believe Sarah has come up with this. And it's the main point plus reasons, the supportive points. Maybe before we go into a thesis statement, can someone stand up and tell me a good thesis statement. It doesn't have to be related to the topic you're doing right now, but maybe just any topic, any thesis statement. Just off the top. I believe so, yeah. No, I'm very horrible with celebration days and everything like that. So it's always like I find out on the day itself. But if you could go to the next slide, we actually have an example. So our thesis statement here is high school graduates should be required to take a year off to pursue community service projects before entering college in order to increase their maturity and global awareness. What do you guys think of this? So they should be required to take a year off. So it's recommended they take a year off to pursue this community service projects. Like, let's see it as an extra year in high school, but you don't go to school. I mean, I'm also for it, but do you think it is a good thesis statement? Because that's what it's about. Because that's a good answer. It is a good thesis statement. So we have the main point in blue and the reasons, the supportive arguments in red, as you can see. So this is what a thesis statement should be. Short, straight to the point, not a question, and have good supportive reasons in them. So this is actually the end for our introduction paragraphs. Next time, Sarah is actually going to go over the conclusion paragraphs with you. But for now, Sean has actually prepared a handout for you that Miss Ruggles will be able to give to you. And after that, you're allowed to go work on your introduction paragraphs.